Hey guys, Luna here, and welcome back to Friendsim 2. Last we left off, we just finished off with the prologue, both with choosing salvation and also revolution. I'm actually going to be continuing off of the salvation ending for going into the next volume. The sphere contains warnings for depiction of blood, depiction of death, depiction of a dead body, discussion of institutional violence. Red has action consequences. Player discretion is advised. Yeah, so you spend a little bit of more time than you maybe absolutely need trying to convince Tagore that leaving Altair would actually be about the best decision you can make. Be like a vacation to a place where literally everything isn't trying to kill you all of the time.
It's not that I don't believe you, in spite of having no evidence whatsoever. It's just that, well, you come here saying, Tagore, leave with me, and Tagore, believe me, you don't offer me respect. You don't offer me friendship. You don't even call me Gorgor.
Wait, is he?
You come here on this, the day of my hate wedding, and you ask me to come with you. For money.
Actually, you're pretty sure you never actually offered any money. You're nearly 100% sure that money wasn't discussed.
So, really, I'm flattered. But I'm afraid you'll have to do a bit better than that.
Okay, you can still work with this. You asked Tagore what he's been up to lately, how the whole Ordeers thing goes. You definitely know that what that is and aren't just grabbing at terms basically random. Tagore eyes skeptically, but then he belts himself
The
up.
ordeals? You want to know my story of triumph and brilliance?
Sure, yeah, let's go with that.
Well, after Ascension, I joined the hallowed halls of the Legis Corpus.
Oh, legislature.
Nothing so brutish. A showmaster, responsible for the grand spectacle trials that keep the Empire's justice system moving. But I'll admit that things could be better. It's a grind, constant work, just absolutely murder on the skin. And I thought that getting into a stable cosmicitude with a high blood might be socially beneficial.
Gallic use.
Yes, Gallic. Which is why it might not be so simple to just leave.
You sure Tagore that Gallic is more than welcome to come along as well. You didn't get to know him that well, but he seemed generally reasonable and open to new experiences. The two pedal?
Yes, but that's not the point. He's gotten a little more uptight lately, which is to say downright paranoid. This is a long way of telling you that if my cosmesis doesn't come with me, I'm not leaving.
Okay, this isn't exactly a deal breaker for you. You're definitely okay with the idea of doing a little bit of friend persuasion? You'll workshop that one in a little bit. Point being that if you can get your powers working again, you'll be completely down with the idea of taking the whole Gregoria package with you.
Look, whatever you're planning to do here, I don't really care. But I've got a hate wedding to get ready for. Also, I need to talk to Tisius about something, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, Tizia, you're a big fan of her. Okay, maybe see you right now, but that never stopped you before.
Right. I said I don't care what you do, but actually, you need to be very unassuming right now.
Yeah, you pretty much created that. A regular secret agent.
I wouldn't say that around Gallic these days. But I'm serious. You need to behave yourself. I'm not having you fuck this up for me.
As you walk down the corridor, Tagore trails off and makes a motion with his hands as if to say, you get what I mean. As we round a corner, you see Tizia leaning up against the wall, frowning and staring pointingly down at the floor. You're about to say something when you get close to look at Tizia's face, and suddenly you think that maybe now isn't really the time to talk to her.
Ah, excellent. You're out here brooding and generally being sullen.
What the fuck do you want, Sorgor? Don't you have a hate wedding to plan with your Kismesis?
Oh, nothing. Just have a quick conversation with a fellow loyal member of the Legis Corpus.
You're about to settle into a quiet listening mode when Tagore shoots you a withering glare.
A conversation I was hoping to have in private, actually.
Okay, fine. You know how to take a hint, actually. You wander around the ship a little bit. The corridors you encounter are remarkably similar, actually, and you find yourself quickly getting lost. After some time, you finally make out your way of some kind of observation deck, looking out the looking at the large pink window to see your tears floating there softly against the hard vacuum of space. It almost makes you forget how harsh of a place it actually is. Your vaguely existential ponderings are cut short when another one of your old friends interrupts.
Ah, if it isn't my old friend, the esteemed cultural ambassador from the alien world of... I'm not entirely sure that you actually told me what the name of your planet was.
Oh yeah, that. Well, your planet is called Earth, and you actually been hanging out a different version of it lately, if he knows what he means. From his skeptical expression, you think that maybe he doesn't.
Indeed. I don't pretend to, but I suppose it's beside the point. That being said, I am happy to see you again.
You tell Gallic that you're happy to see him too. You really feel bad about how long you were gone and all. It wasn't strictly your fault, but you're also not getting into the whole discussion again.
Which is completely fine. I completely understand the need for a certain amount of discretion in one's day-to-day affairs. My work with the Alternian government often requires it.
That's great. You're in the process of asking Gallic what it is that he does for the government process when his expression goes cold and he shakes his head.
I feel that I already addressed why I can't discuss the specifics.
Oh yeah, well, about his whole hate wedding thing, what's the deal with the hate wedding? Gallic slightly rolls his eyes.
Is Tagora still insisting on calling it that? It's simply that we are forming a legally binding partnership based around our kismisitude that includes various consequences for breaking the contract and other such details. It's a fairly standard practice, and it helps ensure that my kismesis is assigned appropriately cushy, non-fatal positions.
You look around the observation deck, and you have to agree that cushy seems like a pretty way to describe everything here. You congratulate Gallic on his excellent taste, and he smiles at you.
Thank you. The ship is mine, of course. Partially for personal use and partially for my work. You're welcome to be here, and you are, of course, welcome to stay for the the ceremony later.
You're politely listening to Gallic on the various things that he can't talk about for vague, unspecified reasons. You hear a loud buzzing tone coming from his pocket. Gallic pulls out his palm husk. He pulls out his palm husk and glares down at it. Before you can ask what's going on, the palm husk sounds another alert, and Gallic's face only gets dark and more concerned.
If you'll excuse me, I have an important matter to attend to. As I stated previously, you're welcome on this ship as my guest. Please, make yourself at ease.
Gallic walks off in a hurry, leaving you staring once more out of the window at the sweeping vista of the stars and the planet below. Once more, you can't help but think how peaceful it all is from here. It's almost like you can ignore the constant misery down below and just focus on the natural beauty of it all. You get about 15 minutes into this bout of reflection when you start to get antsy and need to wander the ship some more. After all, Gallic said that you were free to wander. Well, okay, maybe not exactly that, but you feel like that was the implication was there. Once more, you find yourself traveling through some very samey corridors in search of something interesting. You decide against the bridge. Gallic's comment about not bothering people stands out in your mind. Instead, you head in the opposite direction toward what you naturally think is the back of the ship. In a few more minutes, you end up in a large room that looks like might be a cargo bay of some kind. Maybe it's the vague association of your brain forms between this and your platonic idea of the postal service, or maybe it's just some need of your adventure, but something calls you out here. Then you notice the airlock at the far end appears to be open. Caution, warning, blood and gore, people. Cautiously approach the airlock. This is probably just a mundane thing, probably nothing to be worried about. Oh, that's not even that bad. Oh shit, oh no, this is something to worry about. This is definitely a body. Maybe not that body, but oh fuck, they sure do look dead and there's blood everywhere. You think it's pretty unlikely that someone could lose that much blood and still be okay. It's a troll wearing some kind of spacesuit and it looks like they're hooked up to some safety tether and something. Did you mention that there's a large amount of blood? That's okay, this is fine. You've dealt with blood before. Clearly something is happening here and you need to do something. Mysterious. Investigate the airlock. Okay, dead bodies? You're totally 100% sure that you're absolutely fine with dead bodies and blood. Holy shit, that is definitely blood. It's all splattered on the floor and keypad, and you have at some point, very recently, begun to panic. You're shaking as you try to investigate what is you're seeing. No big deal, you're just investigate this keypad over here, and the one covered in blood. You're not sure if you slipped in the blood or you're just freaking out and tripped over their own feet, but you start to fall forward and accidentally hit the keypad. There's a quick rush of air and sudden movement of intense fear, a stark, terrifying realization, and then you're floating. In space, now you can hear you whimper. The council will see you now. Hey, you're back. Nice to see you again. I'm kind of curious though, why are you here? I mean, here, because this isn't really a place, I mean. Why are you back on Ontario in the first place? What exactly do you hope to accomplish with all this? Dave. Sometimes it feels like so much all the time. Sometimes all you can do is save the people you care about. Is that what you want? Be prepared to be convincing. Sometimes people aren't gonna just want to run away with you. The point of all this being is keep trying. Your journey's still not just at the beginning. It would be a shame to give up now. This is actually different. Wait. Actually, maybe no. So this is the same. So, actually, not do that. So you back slowly out of the airlock, and you don't know much about the forensic investigation to begin with. And you're starting to panic. You probably end up tripping over your own ass and sending yourself out the airlock if you try to do anything yourself. As you're heading out of the try and find someone with more qualifications in the field of figuring out who did a murder, you're practically bumping into Tagore.
What are you going? It's bad enough that I have to deal with everything else today.
Looking up and notice that Tagore seems to be acting in a way that's especially suspicious. Quickly, you put on your junior legislating hat. The hat is metaphorical, and prepare to question Tagore. The questions are literal.
I don't know what you're doing here, but I don't like it.
He seems oddly calm about all this.
There you are. I inquired as to your whereabouts, but Tisius was unsure exactly where you'd gone.
What is it?
I just needed to...
Tears off, and you can see in his eyes start over to the open airlock. Slowly, Galax approaches the door and looks inside.
What in the Empress's name is going on here?
What? What is it?
Galax looks furious, and he's got his hand inside his jacket, and on something that you're starting to realize is some kind of pistol.
What is the meaning of this?
Ugh, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Gorgor, how could you? I know you hate me, but I didn't realize you hated me. To do something like this on my own ship, in the middle of what should be a miserably joyous day for both of us.
What the fuck, Sorgor? What were you even doing down here?
Tagore backs away nervously, putting his hands up and shaking his head. Honestly, he doesn't seem like someone who's been caught red-handed so much as someone who has no idea what's going on.
You don't understand. I just got here.
A likely story. The kind of story a rebellion spy would tell. Tagora, the only reason I'm not going to shoot you on the spot is because in spite of everything, I still care about you. If it weren't for my pitch feelings...
He doesn't finish the sentence, but you think he just doesn't really need to. Slowly, Tagore lowers his hands and he just looks deflated now.
Fine. Do what you want.
It doesn't take long to lock Tagore up in the office you found him in earlier. He doesn't really seem too interested in putting up much of a fight at this point. He managed to catch up at Galag once he's locking the door.
Oh, it's you again. I'm truly sorry that you had to witness such a base display of emotion on my part. I'm simply overwhelmed that my own Kismesis would disrespect me like this.
Galag sighs heavily and lowers his head. You can't help but think that right now he looks like he very much doesn't want to be here.
I suppose it falls to me to deal with this matter in the prescribed manner.
You have a sinking feeling that what he's talking about that involves a bullet to the head.
Not necessarily. An airlock could also be involved. Any method at all, really. But regardless, I still fall under Imperial law when it comes to these matters. And as an Alternian officer in my own right, I cannot simply ignore it.
You're starting to get the idea. You put up a hand. What if you suggest Tagore was given the option of a trial? Wouldn't that be a good idea? That's very much keeping with the Arterian legal system.
I suppose. You do understand that Alternian trials are mostly a formality, right? I would simply be delaying the inevitability of my unpleasant duty that would sadly still be my responsibility.
I understand that, but what if you could prove some kind of defense? Maybe things are all that they seem. Gallic, I suspect.
I suppose that would be acceptable. At least to humor you while I mentally prepare myself for executing my own kismesis.
He sighs and shrugs.
Very well. You may have run of the ship to conduct whatever investigation you see fit and interview any witnesses. I'll add your biometric data to the ship's scanning system so that you can access the office where Tagore is being held.
Alec pulls his palm husk out of his pocket and types a few times on the screen. It chirps softly to indicate that whatever he was doing worked. Yes, it's not really totally clear on how this alien technology actually works.
There. I will be on the bridge. Please feel free to ask me any questions as pertain to your investigations. Once you're done gathering evidence and interviewing witnesses, we can conduct a proper trial. And then I can get this whole Empress Stand process over with.
Well, fuck, looks like you're gonna have to try and figure out what's really going on here. You don't think it's especially likely that Corey actually killed anyone? That doesn't really seem like his speed. Guess you should probably start by talking to Gora, given that you're going to be defending him and all that. Another Ace Attorney, yes. You should investigate the ship thoroughly and talk to everyone involved. So, I guess... Okay, so there's locations. Office. You open the door and find a sullen-looking Tagore leaning up against a bookshelf in the corner, eyeing you suspiciously.
Come to gawk at the condemned?
Well, no, you explain. Not really. You're actually here to defend him, to prove some kind of chance of maybe not being condemned.
Oh, Empress, that's somehow even worse.
Ouch. Well, you're about the only chance he's got right now, since no one else seems particularly care about his plight.
Fair enough. So, what's your brilliant plan?
You don't want to admit that this is as far about as you managed to get with the... You don't want to admit that this is about as far as you managed to get as far as the actual planning thing goes.
This is it, huh? You haven't actually thought of anything.
Well, the thing about that is...
Fine. Make this quick.
Why was he done in the cargo bay? Tagore narrows his eyes and glares at you, and you're really not getting a very warm and friendly vibe from him. Hey, aren't you friends?
You're a dangerous person to be friends with. I'd rather not right now. It's all the same to you.
Hey, fine, but you also notice that he's completely dodged the question. What was he doing down in the cargo bay? Acting awfully suspicious too.
I wasn't doing anything. And I don't have to answer to you either.
Of course not, but it might make things tricky as far as the whole preventing Tagore from dying objective. This seems like a pretty poor information.
It's none of your business what I was doing down there. Maybe you should concentrate on finding out what's going on rather than running around in circles like this.
Did he do it?
Does it matter?
Yes. Well, you explain, yeah, it kind of does. It's a bit hard to prove his innocence if he wasn't actually innocent.
My innocence? You honestly think that has anything to do with the outcome here?
Tagore laughs in the way that you find it's a little bit more unsettling.
Please. Gallic's made up his mind, so that's basically it.
And that doesn't bother him at all? You're still not completely sure how the whole quadrant thing works, but you're pretty sure that chemicists weren't supposed to literally kill each other.
Oh, this isn't about our relationship anymore. This is completely inside of his head.
You remind yourself that you should look around the room, too, and see if you can find any clues. Finding clues is one of the things that good detectives do. Why, you would be willing to bet there's even neat little symbolic representations of bits of the room you can look at. Maybe some kind of magnifying glass. Pretty sure that Gallic one laid Tagore in here in the computer. If the computer actually gave him any of the connecting to the outside world, and sure enough, it seems like it's completely locked out without some kind of administration passcode. See a few program icons in the background, solitaire, some kind of word processing program, and something called Vital Track, but none of it is anything you can open and look at. Poster. There's some kind to be said for the convergent evolution of vastly different worlds that has sure the University of Cute Kitten dangling precariously while encouraging the viewer to hang in there. Of course, this is Bingotera. That's probably some horrible cat. The tree is venomous, or the kin is venomous, or there's some venomous creature just out of frame. Whatever the case, you're completely certain that the venom is involved somehow. You know what? Not all the flora on the tail is horrific nightmare of teeth and spines hellbent on killing every living organism it encounters. Just a lot of it. But this planet is perfectly normal and harmless. At least it is right now. Maybe it'll grow up to be a giant friend-eating monstrosity one day. Best not to think about it too much. I guess the last thing is this. Looking through the books on the shelves, you don't really see anything that would be particularly useful to you. You're still able to recognize most of the writing, the characters forming intuitively into something you can comprehend. The subject matter of the books, on the other hand, is completely beyond your abilities. You aren't even going to pretend that this is stuff is remotely accessible to you. So I guess I looked at everything, so... Walk into the bridge of the ship and immediately struck by how quiet it is. Expected a spaceship to have all kinds of humming gizmos and whatnot all over the place, but it's mostly just a few trolls sitting in silence tapping on their screens. Of course, a very sullen-looking Gallic standing at the middle of the bridge, started staring at the V-screen at the stars.
I hope that your investigation is going well. Even if I find your motivations to be misguided, I trust that the process will uncover the deeper truth behind the matter.
You shrug. You haven't really made a lot of progress yet, but you were wondering if you could ask Gallic some questions in an official investigation capacity, you mean? Gallic chuckles, although it's not really a sound that actually suggests any kind of humor.
You've been talking to the Legis Lacerator, huh?
Kaiserx? No, not yet.
Very well. I will endeavor to answer what questions I can in a straightforward and honest manner. I cannot promise I will be especially helpful, but I will try.
You really think Segura has killed someone, doesn't he?
Why wouldn't I? All evidence that exists points to it as an inescapable conclusion.
Okay, but suppose for a second he didn't actually do it. Would Gallic just feel completely awful if he were to kill his own nemesis over a misunderstanding? Gallic shrugs in front of you.
I suppose you have a point, which is why I'm even indulging this foolishness of yours in the first place. Honestly, if I were holding to the simple letter of Alternian law, he would already be dead.
Is there anything that would be helpful to know?
Personally? That's a bit of a vague question and not especially helpful to whatever it is you're playing at here. I suppose if you were to want an additional perspective on the matter, I would suggest you seek out the Tealbloods on this ship, who aren't murderers. I believe Miss Entik and Miss Sezyat are on the observation deck. You are also welcome to investigate the crime scene directly, of course.
Anything that's glowing? I guess not. Already went to the office, so let's go to the observation deck.
But how can you be sure?
Hey, got a voice right.
There's no way he could have killed that troll. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's you!
Hey, so you're really going through with this, huh?
Not enthusiastically, although you have to admit that a lot of it's fake till you make it, and not as much genuine enthusiasm. Still, Tesseric seems to take it well enough.
Sure you are. I suppose you're going around asking everyone questions now, right?
She doesn't really think he did it, does she?
Not that it matters much to anyone, but no. Not that I can prove anything right now.
In the on your planet, the person accused of the crime is usually considered innocent until the guilt can actually be proven.
That sounds nice.
Of course, in reality, that's not actually the case, and conviction rates are extremely high. If someone accused of a crime, they're often going to be found guilty or agreed that they're guilty in order to avoid a long, expensive, and humiliating trial.
So, basically what we've got here?
Yep, no giant monster to eat the accused, though.
Oh, we're phasing out the giant monster lately. Except in especially important cases. The whole thing was such a production, and there aren't many of them hatched anymore.
Important cases?
You know, like beetle theft. Why, just last Perigee we had a case involving the Legicorpus High Senate, and oh goodness, never mind. If you get me started on this, I'll never stop.
Anything less, and you're just likely to get shot in the head at the end of things.
Oh, well, that does sound pretty bad.
Glad to see your talent for stating the obvious has remained intact since we last talked.
Can't they just ask the ghosts who killed them? Seems to recall trolls having ghosts. That was a thing, right? Troll ghosts? You're nearly 100% sure that was a thing. So why can't you just ask the ghosts who killed them? Simple, right?
Well, it's a little more complicated than that. For one thing, non-corporeal testimony has been banned in trials for 50 sweeps due to the possibility of bias. Also, we're not entirely sure what creates these ghosts, but they're not always present and require a certain kind of psychic to be able to talk to.
And we haven't seen any evidence of a ghost here.
Oh, well, that kind of sucks. That you can't even ask what happens.
Yep.
But wait, just out of curiosity, what happens if there is a ghost? Would it be pretty angry about what happened to them? Do big spaceships and stuff just have hundreds of pissed off spirits everywhere?
Oh, don't worry. They have people for that.
You have no idea what to do.
That's pretty obvious.
ZZ! Don't be so negative. Our friend here is just trying to help.
Fine. Have you tried actually looking around for evidence?
Oh, kind of? You have to admit, you're pretty new to this whole legislature thing, honestly.
If I were in your position, I'd start by searching the master respite block. I'd be willing to bet you find something worthwhile.
Oh, do you even get in there? You can't imagine the guy just leaves the door unlocked.
So how'd you get into the office where Tagore is locked up then?
Oh yeah, Gallic gave you access to the ship's computer and maybe extends to the rest block as well. You can go in there and investigate. But wait, how does Sick even know you've been into the office? Instead of responding, she just taps her nose and smiles at you. Anything worth investigating in here? I guess not. So let's go to the airlock. Okay, this is it. This is where the horrible murder happened. Warrior. This is the part where you just put on your big person gloves and really... No, fuck you can't do this right now. This whole scene seems really important, like, vitally so. You can't just do this right now. Baby steps. Maybe later. Why would there even be a later? You can just solve Tagore's innocence and then the whole thing will just solve itself. That definitely feels possible. Anything worth... okay, so there's this. Not making that mistake twice. Next time you mess with something like that, be under appropriate supervision. Not some kind of forensic expert, you can see a lot of blood here. So much blood, basically everywhere. Honestly, it's hard to tell how this person was killed, but it looks like maybe some kind of wound to the neck. You should have literally any experience investigating anything. In fact, it's hitting you fully just how woefully unqualified you are for any of this. Although this stuff seems very important, but you can barely you just can't right now. Your stomach's churning and you can barely hold it together. This is probably another way to clear Tagore's name. Maybe you won't have to deal with any more of this stuff after all. Yep, nothing else. So let's try and go to the master rest block, I guess? Station. You really wish you could take a seat right now. This whole process is exhausting. But you got to do things right and innocent teal blood to exonerate. Replicun looks like a giant shisha, which you guess would be the Artarian's equivalent of some kind of Palace of Versailles thing. It's very fancy, a bit too much for your taste, honestly. Off to the side looks like there's a door leading back to the shower room. God, you could probably use a shower. Maybe that you didn't notice the shower in the other rest block before, but maybe you just missed it while having a moderate to severe panic attack when you zapped in there before. First glance, this looks like a standard bedside table, but there's a cleverly concealed drawer on the side of it. You shuffle around to the drawer, mostly because the experience has taught you that you often, where people keep important papers that they don't necessarily want other people to see, but that doesn't matter because you got a mission to do here. After a couple of minutes, you find something promising. It looks like some kind of legal document that's usually covered in footnotes and annotations. On close inspection, it seems to be some kind of hate marriage contract. We'll just hold on to this for later. Anything else? Go back to the office, I guess, to see. Nothing else here, so great. So I got everything in the observation. Found this hate marriage document. Alex's eyes glow wide and his stammers before quickly regaining his composure.
How did you even... Oh, of course. The access I provided for the office also allowed you into my private quarters.
You're really good at investigation. In fact, you learned from some of the best in the business. A regular problem sleuth, that's you. Alex shakes his head and takes the documents from you and looks them over before quickly...
You need to understand that nothing in here is especially unusual or untoward on my part. Pretty standard for those seeking to formalize their quadrants.
You're not really sure if you fully believe him, but you don't know much about contracts on Ontario's legal system, but it seems like there's some very one-sided language in here that's harsh consequences for Tagore.
Fine. I suppose you're not going to leave me alone about this. I suspected that Tagore was pitched with someone else.
Aw, he's a little flustered. Okay, but why?
Just a feeling I got. And then he's been getting increasingly distant from me lately. Especially the last couple days. I suspect that this has something to do with his sudden turn for the murderous.
You think that this seems a bit of a stretch even by some of the convoluted logic they've run into lately, but you refrain from saying anything. You should probably see what Tagore has to say about this. Alec thinks he might be cheating on him. Tagore actually looks genuinely ticked by this. He tosses his head back and laughs in that weird, grating way that he
Cheating
has.
on him? Oh, that's fucking rich.
So no?
Of course I'm not cheating on him. Why the hell would I do that?
Stuck in a hateless
You should
relationship?
really stop talking so much. You know that, right?
Actually, not the first time you heard that.
Oh, I can't imagine why. In any case, no, I'm not fucking cheating on him. I might be morally flexible in a lot of ways, but I take my quadrant seriously.
Okay, cool. So what about the whole about to be killed by his chemist because of the murder he claimed to commit thing?
Fine. You want to know what I was doing down by the cargo bay? I was talking to Theseus. More specifically, I was trying to find a spot where I could talk without Gallic potentially seeing.
Wait a minute, didn't you just say he took his quadrant seriously?
Idiot. It wasn't a quadrant thing. God, I don't feel that way about her. I needed her advice on something. Specifically, I think Gallic might have added a few conditions to our hate marriage contract.
Conditions? What does he mean?
It means I don't know what it means. I never got a good look at the document, and he hid it away somewhere.
Oh, well, that's convenient. You happen to have that document with you. Tagore quickly grabs the papers from me and looks at them over, frowning himself.
This is about what I expected. I was hoping Theseus might be able to find a way to legally nullify whatever language he put in there. He might be a high blood, but I don't want to be in a relationship where I don't have the upper hand.
Okay, this is starting to finally get interesting. Of course, it should be sure it would be nice if Tagore had literally any proof of what he was saying as far as his conversation with Taser.
The best I can do is this.
Hands you his palm husks. Okay, thanks, but what are you supposed to do with this?
It's a Legis Corpus palm husk, you grub-brained idiot. There's an investigative module installed that tracks evidence you gather, including my conversation with Theseus.
Why not just let you log into his account and see the message directly, though? Surely this whole message log thing is overly cumbersome way to... Never mind, he's going at you
I'm
again.
not letting you see all of my private conversations. There's some highly compromising photographs in there.
Oh. Yeah, you're actually good with doing things this way. Sometimes a little bit more gameplay conceit is good for you. Helps you keep you on your toes and all
Anyway,
that.
you'll figure it out. And don't worry about giving the palm husk back. I've got a bunch of them. Consider it an investment, if you will. A gesture of good faith that you'll get me the fuck out of this.
You know what? You're actually going to pursue that line of inquiry any further. He's right. You'll figure this out. So I got 12 alerts. So okay. Karma, Captain Imperial Division, Finian. So mind your PLers to meet social media policies. Still apply to Chitter. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Banning issues of terms of recruitment. Feel free to reach out with the understanding. If I'll be touring satellite 5762A if anyone has any questions about Imperial procedure. Remember that it's Too much speech is a bad thing. It leads to unpleasant outcomes. Broadcast schedule has been updated. Check my schedule page on GripTube for additional details. High blood opinion options for your Imperial service, but you do not have options about whether or not you serve. Anything on GripTube will be reported to the legislative corpus immediately. She, her, flag Ethan. All opinions are sanctioned by the Italian government as long as the conditions for rebellion success. The Neville will break their religious spirit, and the conditions will cease to exist, and the rebellion will die. Training on Terria, invasion of 1, Italians reporting alien invaders back. 11 sweeps. 11 sweeps. Chixie Roxmore, she, her, keeping an eye on the prize, rising with the moon, doing what I need to do to get by every day. I think this is real. Top 10 on Slaughterfly Chixie. Gotta keep focused on what I'm doing no matter what. Check out my new single on Slaughterfly Chixie. So thankful for the opportunities I have, even when I got off road, I'll be able to create. I may release an outdoor album that work, even low buzz can make it. Check out my back catalog on Slaughterfly. Never stop reaching for your dreams, you can do it just like me. Okay, now this is the private DMs. Your options are mine, fuck off if it's real. So if I'm not a slave, might as well might as well. Never get out of here, that's not for people like us. Gotta log off for a while now, you know. Be in touch, Juicy. Wish there was some real way out of this. Give me both chicks. I don't know what I want to do right now, okay? I may keep lying to people, what makes it okay? It's the trick, was lying to myself the whole time. Sometimes I'll be able to good here, are you like, okay? Seriously, chicks talks to me. I'm fine, well, not okay, I'll be fine. Old word. She, her, look, we can touch. Think I got time for shit for your fucking quadrants and fucking bullshit? Think I dropped all the face for fun? I know this shit. You all know this shit. Stop acting like it's not. Yes, I kinda just fuck everything up, right? It's my deal, it's my thing. You think I messed up the system? It's going like, what the fuck? Definitely. Then shuffle off the world to die. Definitely. Can't fucking do this more and more. I cannot fucking do this. It's like everything coming up and crashing down all over me again and again and fucking wrong. Yes, you can. We'll talk about it later, okay? Gonna lose my fucking shittier walls. Keep closing around me and social company. Is it weird to say I miss her now? Still have that same sweater, lol. Weird how they kind of just let me talk on here, right? I'm supposed to be on the fucking call list. Almost like there's different standards. Funny how that works. My brown boy's flood, she's not gonna get extended the same courtesy. Only here because of some asshole patron keeping her around. J-Blood, I saw him hanging with it, picture on site. Funny. Him. For the actively inclined, 11.5. Rebellion is the deadly seed of within us all. You want to prevent seeds from spawning, put them in the grounds. Nemesis to Bavi Kolgor. Sometimes the Court of One's duty to the Empire is necessary to do things like that. Sometimes it's necessary. If better Kolgor actually understood, then you understand this is only action. I really wish he would stop calling it a hate wedding. It's absurd. When Kenneth is cagey, I cannot have one under. I can give you the rest of the proper paperwork for myself and utterly exhausting. I swear the things I do for me annoys me. Perhaps this whole process I can finally take some time to relax. Maybe for the sake of kids, I have no strong opinion doing on tiger-based punishment. You know, fun, neither claim to be. That speaker never ends. Certain poetry on the counter-revolution writings in the time of triumph. Methodology desire, but something about it. It's hard to learn for times. It seems easy. They'll do so well in high security positions. Remember, I see stuff. There are things that are truly nothing to hide nothing. There are secrets to hide. Don't show someone to hide. Sense of structure. Malik? 52, 65, 73, 69, 73, 74. Choose the power, they can't stop me. This equals real life, stop playing pretend. Taught how to hatch, but we were taught from hatched into obey, but that's not how we should live. The Emperor is lying to you, the Empress is lying to you. You should know that about the Project Guardian. This is a real top secret shit that they don't want to know about. We don't know about the details, but it is a project that recognizes us. I tell you no one removed from the Empire. If you live after Constitution, one fucking sweep girl, let your corpus read low blood. I say never done. They weren't doing anything wrong. Reports that are making anti-propaganda, more like concert flyers. Hope there's blood on your hands instead of coming off. Crop busters is the electric to take bribes from everything, but except when it's actually time to show compassion. Showmasters are nothing but a bucket of six sadists. There's tries joke. Marvis, he, him. Be like that sometimes. Fisher should have won the villain, the Grandmaster Marvis. Even I gotta be a bars for 7 days, 1.5. Alien invasion of 1. I'll buddy you back up. Little buddy back up. Hit me up, fuck up on your dream orbits. Notice I can't self-promo right now, but do bully pissed. When people are treating us like we ain't even people. The effects, but he gets stopping in DMs. Shout out to all the fans who made my single perfect. Excited to hear what we got done. Real sad about how it goes. You're gonna terrific week again. Artist profile not found. Emil Fight has been deactivated on tier and PO thought provision. Any attempt to locate this individual reference therein will be referred to that appropriate corpus. Stella. Would it be so lovely if we could have just asked Ghost to solve all our problems 20 minutes ago? Honestly, this night, I'm glad that Itano invited us. She here trying to stay positive. The new auditor, life has been keeping back the balance. This is lifestyle, makes bright to her. Congratulations to bad cargo, I need snow, you hate wedding. Thank you for mates where it's less than 36. This is MC Suffolk Sorgor. No thanks, advocates for that. God, you're the worst. Tiger Room is critical part of legend. Corp is a whole tradition. I don't know if it's sarcasm, not to say matter. Tigers are there either way. Do I think Coco makes some good points about tigers? Honestly, don't know how anyone would criticize the Legend Corp's changes of duty is fine. Extra paperwork is fine. French advocate and everything. That's for me. No, it's fine. I'm spending most of my time doing this. It's fine. You can't fight it. Okay. He, him, signed to agree to sign all the terms. This is showcase. This is his lifestyle, not a hobby. The case well, it looks like alien invasion is on the case. Excuse me, that doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. Of course, need to know would do something like this. What did I do without poor unfortunate Gogor or travesty in the highest order? Some people just don't know enough to stay gone, honestly. Just learn that it's time to fuck off and go do literally anything else. Some people just don't understand how important the pitch relationship is. And again, that's not even having a chemist discuss with someone. So annoyed that he would insinuate these things about me. This is not just put damp on our ceremony. You know I still hate you. Not speaking to you. Secret proper coffee. For sense freaking wretched. Tigers until they need tigers. Tigers graceful. Hunters package for lawless. Do you know want to get me code? Temmie says tigers, they say how money. This was made for better things than this. Really subsequent. Check yourself. You let me finish before you beg about me, blood sugar. Excuse me, Your Highness, for not being able to read your minds. The DCC at none first time so in DCC. Big fan of our magicians, like audition pussy work. That's things to do. Proper scale counters important. Tesseract. Her what? We shouldn't be here. Go away. So I guess I should do the bottom up. Now it's directed at you, by the way. You want public paperwork. I suppose arrested for my part trial. It's funny how some people only seem to know themselves and take care of themselves. You still go check your fucking names. I got something new. Oh, don't worry, take care of it. It's easy. Alright, you have a room full of tigers anyway. You have to be red heart with. Professional, thanks for keeping me safe, of course, darling. Didn't have this in my head. Of course, I got into be coffee with I'm stuck on chicken and basic assistance. And I could probably be better than them for a price. Maybe feeling that things are about to get about from weird to weirder. Maybe what my rights rate and I get up to is anyone's fucking business and a nerve, huh? Says, yeah, as an A, if I hear about it once more, my ears are gonna bleed. Yes, don't hop on, I know. So I get up to. Honestly, at this point, I'm just more tired than anyone else. Getting back shit. Seriously, what do the entire actual fuck is going on today? Accused of a murder by Habla? Sounds like bullshit to me. Zebra? I love like each of their characters' art things. Me, him, I can help you, babe. Live to make a less fortune, become manager to the 60. Babe, you wanna do collab sometime in perfect season? This is where I want to take this shit for real, My apologies, Grandma. Should need to offend you. Please accept my humble apologies. Yeah, buddy, nothing. I'll try to shoot. Try and get shot. Yeah, shut. Most levels even know lucky how they can pass. The chicks you versus melee, so proud of my chicks. Blessed to get back the less fortune through the deal thing. Any gold or olive blessed or ice 10 cheap minimum employment, they get a free one cheap course in local colony economics. The commanding officer's choice. That's to be able to work the genuine mercy chip for my newest venture. Man, I wish I could find someone who understands how to high bloods these days. Remember the blue blood letter 2. Remember, we got chicks performing 3 times a week here in the mirror. Skyla, she, her, Beccarod's more bad for life. Beccarod's filling adventure series featuring the expert Beccarod. 10.5. So, 283 cycles ago, jeez. So before now, I don't know all those looking up some confused, just a couple cycles off, and then it's time to army. God knows what it actually means. Sunshine smart, I'm not too much character to run. I can have my problems computer. Watch him turn into a fucking Beck Rogers in the countdown. Or if it's actually still a character solo, but it was full of low blood. Remember the time Beck broke up the smuggling ring? Probably one of my top 10 moments over. Oh my god, what if the Beck Rogers actually shot my post? That'd be amazing. First, I respond to a loyal fan, especially from army, nothing except and companion. What would consider your favorite moment of the show? You've done amazing episodes. I love season 2, episode 15, where Beck with first meets his loyal gold blood mates fight. Shout me. I believe Beck responded. I mean, so much you see my experience as a lawyer just showed you that too. Now I mean, it's been echoed by such a fine program. A 3. She, her, baddest bitch, demand nothing more, limited to her loyalty. This is basically just, maybe if a week, thoughts about it, DMs are always open. Good here, even some people ignore it. Life doesn't have to be hopeless, there can be better. Make the funniest shit you follow right now. Bodies and stuff, even if the air is the way he talks to me. Arterians, oceans beautiful, sometimes on calm, sometimes just I'm talking to some folks about future, a lot to consider. Glad he's such a bold leader, always said we should do better for low budget than this and so. Maybe they'd be more effective if they gave them some extra hope for the future. Maybe working on big moves. Still trying to get through things, girl, here for you. Moon, it was early tonight. Finally talk about it by himself, finally making this fifth I've been talking about. Terry, not ready for this. Talking about that me something to think about, deep thoughts. Let's see if her Pierce can sense fuck this rubber slop. Remember, if I'm right hand, he's her left. Never fucking forget. We'll know you aren't fit this area, but her equipment drive in full effect. Moon's out bright tonight, remind me. The moon, she's always watching you. Complains about my notorious. Sounds like some losing that shit to me. Yeah, time to name our next warship. Best suggestions are being assigned for my crew. I'll talk about low blood rights. Y'all owe your service. It's about you. Hey, Alien Vision. Hey, Alien Vision 1, what do you think you're doing back? Rebels, they think they're hot shit. How come they haven't changed it? Nice rebelling would be shame some fuck. But if you ain't cool with her, you're not gonna talk to me. And Peel Network, attention, MP alert has been issued to your sector. Do not disregard this message. Disregarding this message will let the user to summon calling. Intelligence has been prepared to capture the Brawn Budge, alligator nose of Tetrak, presumed to be armed and extremely dangerous. It's not beyond highlight. Recent intelligence suggests the rebel elements may have infiltrated key positions within the logic code. Remain vigilant. Investigation. Obviously this took our statement. Lock computer vital track. agreement. You have a minute and you talk to your Scorgor. I think I thought it was the exact company. Let's shut up, we need this agreement. You know monopoly to have, by the way. Again, to look up, I think some language you can mess with me. I don't know for sure. I don't have it in hand, but I did manage to look at while he's drafting me. Point better that I'm not sure you want to go through this. Do I hate him? Of course. Do I want to be good? Of course, but we see I post some super bullshit. I don't want to deal with that. Surely you can better understand you so much forever. Help me get out, help me figure out how to get this out so I loathe so deeply just something like this. I said fuck you, I guess. Sorry, so glad I got things. I can't promise this right now, but I promise if you wait another look. Okay. I guess I'll go back to the observation deck. Found these records. Tazarek smiled softly as if she knew exactly what you're going to say before you even left your mouth.
Well, that's a good start.
Sorry for the long investigation of the phone. I was just curious what everyone's been up to. Except you don't have any idea what you actually do with this information. You keep feeling like you're pulling on a thread, but then just coughs on something and you can't figure out what.
So keep pulling. Go find someone who might know about those records.
That does seem like a pretty straightforward and simple solution to the problem, yeah.
Sometimes the solutions are simple. Not everything has to be some complex game of chess.
They have a chess on the Terra? Maybe you weren't so different after all.
Oh, sure. It's a little bloody sometimes, but you know how it is.
You think that this might be one of those cultural misunderstandings you've heard so much about? That good look at the conversation. Ezra frowns and shakes her head slightly. Next to her, Stella starts to look worried.
Zizi, what conversation are they talking about?
It's nothing. It wasn't anything, okay?
Well, what's the big deal? You're just giving Tigray some basic legal advice on nullifying his hate marriage contract? Stella's eyes go wide and she turns to look at Taser with an expression of growing fear.
Is that true? Were you getting involved in a Kismesis dispute with an Indigo Blood? A member of the Alternian Intelligence Service, no less! Zizi, is this some kind of Ashen Quadrant thing?
No, I'm not interested in playing auspices between him and anyone.
Well, that's even worse! Why would you get in between them like that? You could end up in the same position as Tagora.
Tezora sighs and looks away, and you think you see something in her eyes that she's not telling Stella. Sometimes that doesn't have anything to do with Tagora or Gallic. Not exactly.
It was the right thing to do, okay? That's all.
Stella doesn't seem satisfied by this. She gives Tezora as, we'll talk about this later, but that doesn't say anything else. Okay, this is getting really awkward. You have a feeling that you should maybe not be here anymore. Like, specifically, you should not be in this specific place trying to insert yourself into this specific conversation, or should maybe do literally anything else. Yes, airlock, just to see if there's anything else. Master rest block, is there anything else in here? Oh, he's gotta double check and triple check everything. To the bridge. Doesn't wish and pitch for someone else. Gallic narrows his eyes at you and shakes his head slowly. He is that kind of like, yeah, I don't really believe he looked around.
Really now? I find that extremely unlikely, given his secretive behavior lately.
He explained that Tagore found out about the hate marriage contract and felt like it was unfair to him, so he was trying to figure out a way to nullify the contract. He was messing Charizard and around the time of the
Patently absurd. The only reason I made the contract in the first place was because of Tagore. He's clearly involved in something. I'm just not sure what. I have to protect myself.
Hey, but something isn't really adding up.
I have no idea what you mean. It's clear as night that when Tagore and I had our little...
Alec shows off as he was about to mention something potentially embarrassing. He looks so cute and flustered. You ask him, what does he mean exactly? Gallic flushes deeply.
Tagore and I got into a small dispute shortly before the murder. He said some things about not being able to trust me, and I may have responded poorly.
Tagore didn't mention this before, and I suppose he probably didn't want to talk about it, but it sounds like a lot on his mind in general. If you can put all this together, maybe there's a chance you can show Tagore actually didn't kill anyone. Gather enough evidence to prove your case to Gala. Click on your start trial. I'm sure I just want to go back to the office and just... Okay, I guess I just start trial then. Alec has the cargo bay turned into some kind of makeshift courtroom just for the purposes of this trial of his. Is it a little bit weird to be conducting a trial mere feet away from the still warm body of the victim? Yeah, you know what, it really is.
Well, now that everyone is assembled, I will be taking on the role of chief persecutor for the duration of the trial, given we don't have a tyranny or council for...
Something inside you feels strange when you hear a word council, some kind of strange attached feeling, a memory that you haven't had yet. Maybe Gallic gets one of the look on your face and frowns.
Will you be quite able to conduct your duties?
Yeah, you're a little bit unclear what those duties are exactly. From next to you to exercise loudly.
Normally, a trial consists of a persecutor who presents the case and a respondent who's basically there to look stupid while the accused is found guilty.
You aren't going to sugarcoat it. That sounds like a bad system.
Yeah, no shit. It's all for show, of course. Don't worry. I'll help you run through this, okay?
Okay. Got this. You're pretty sure you've done this before, maybe? Honestly, you can't even remember if that was you or if you're someone else. You got this kind of fleeting memory of another trial, but it doesn't feel real. This is really not the time for an existential crisis.
Very well. We will begin. I will present the Empire's case in this matter, and then you will be able to respond. I think it's clear enough what happened here. My Kismesis here was involved in black solicitations with someone else. He was always acting in a secretive manner, hiding his pitch affair from me. I never thought it would extend to murder, and yet here we are.
Look, some of the stuff he's saying doesn't make sense.
Quickly save, just because it seems like I only have 4 chances.
You should press him on it to uncover inconsistencies, and then you can show evidence that pokes holes in his story. Just be careful. If you show a bunch of random shit, you'll end up pissing him off. But don't worry about asking for more information. The only way that'll hurt you is if you keep pushing the issue again and again.
This makes sense. Get ready to go back over Galic's statement and really get up in the elbows in this bullshit. Actually, no, that sounds really gross. You're just gonna do legislative stuff. Suppress.
Objection!
Oh, wait a minute. You say that's not the whole story, is it? You wonder, does Galic have actual proof that Tagore wasn't being faithful to him? Surely someone as confident in his own intellect as Galic wouldn't leap to any conclusions.
Very well, you make a good point. Let me revise my earlier statement. I suspect my Kismesis was involved with someone else, given how distant he'd become lately. There's no other possible explanation for the way he was acting towards me.
Objection!
Wait a minute. You said that's not the whole story, is it? But what if...
Stop being so obtuse. You know very well that there's no reason for his strange behavior other than infidelity. I believe it was a pitch affair because what other reason would he have to act distant towards me?
I never thought I'd sent to murder, and yet here we are.
Objection!
But wait a minute, you say that's not the whole story, is it? How does he know the victim was murdered? They just kind of died? Yeah, exercise
Very well. I will admit that it isn't outside the realm of the possible that the individual wasn't murdered, but such an explanation is unlikely to the point of absurdity. I know that the victim was violently killed, and I have no reason to suspect it was anything other than murder.
Let's see here, evidence. Let's see here. So I got the chat log, the network computer, check the statement. So well, what do you think of this?
I don't see what possible relevance that has to the matter at hand.
What would that be with the...
Take that!
Well, what do you think of this?
I don't see.
Maybe this?
Take that!
What do you think of this?
I don't see.
Objection!
I think. I'm afraid I don't. For my own kismesis to be.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. You're a petty, jealous bitch, and I genuinely hate you.
Alex shines slump and he reaches for a pistol concealed in his jacket. He's crying, but his hand won't stop moving. Desperately, you reach out to feel for your powers, take the reins of time and space, and go back.
I'm sorry, Gorgor. I genuinely cared for you.
Doesn't matter because somewhere executed. There it. Can't see you now. Try again. Obviously, I gotta.
Objection!
Just gotta press on
Objection!
everything.
Objection!
So I think I need to press. What do you think there?
I don't see.
Maybe you.
Take that!
I don't see.
Take that!
I don't see.
I don't help. Help! Help! No, what am I supposed to do?
I don't see.
Again. I don't.
Objection! Objection! Objection!
What evidence do I need to present? Picture fair. What other reason? I mean, evidence to core state.
Take that! Take that!
Wait. I thought I present. Okay, so I guess it made saying a very snappy, confident manner. There's another reason why Togura might be acting a little bit suspiciously.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
But he already knows the reason. He pulled out the copy of the chemist's agreement, all with the Galaxy annotations on it, and smiled confident. His face falters for a second.
Objection!
But what possible relevance does this have to the situation? As I previously pointed out, that contract is quite standard among pitchmates. Unless you have something else to suggest, some meaning I've failed to derive. Completely asinine.
It would be the chat log then.
Completely
Yeah, it shakes his head.
I'm afraid.
Oh, okay, so just pressing F takes you to this. Okay, so...
Look.
Okay, so...
Objection!
Press...
Objection!
Press...
Objection!
Evidence... Green...
Objection!
The chat log, I guess? Maybe this?
Complete.
Right there in his own words, the argument that he had Tagore earlier. Obviously, Tagore didn't think that his contract was just standard.
You're goddamn right I didn't.
Very well. I'll admit that Tagora might have had some legitimate reason to be upset.
You bulge-sucking pile of... You were trying to treat me like some kind of pet.
That is essentially incorrect. Besides, it doesn't matter what his feelings were because Tagora was still in the area at the time of the murder. He had plenty of opportunity to commit the murder and cover his tracks. As much as I hate it, I don't see any evidence to the contrary.
Something's still not right. If you can figure out where the contradiction is, maybe we can actually convince him that Gorgor's innocent.
That's true.
Objection!
There's something else that he isn't saying, isn't there? I know you're not going to pretend to be an expert at murder, but somehow you feel maybe it takes a bit more than a few minutes to commit a brutal murder than hide the signs that it was just committed like a brutal murder. Just hypothetically speaking and all that.
Fine. I will amend my earlier statement. The murder was obviously rushed and sloppy. He didn't put much forethought into this at all.
Objection!
There's something else he isn't saying, isn't there? Girl.
No. I feel like I've sufficiently explained myself on this matter.
I'll just press the button, please. I just get to know exactly what time the murder was committed because I sounds pretty sure. Back where you actually stammers. I really don't think he's seen lose composure like this in a while.
Well, the thing about that is...
He sighs and shrugs.
I suppose there's no harm in it. All of the ship's personnel are equipped with an implanted biomonitoring system known as Vital Track. It allows me to record their vital signs down to the minute. Here, I'll provide you with the record for our poor maintenance worker. Based on the information I have on hand from the monitoring system, the time of death was around the same time that Tagora was seen in the area.
Take that!
What do you think of this?
I don't see...
Maybe it's to first statement of this.
Take that!
I don't see what...
Vital track, deceased time of death, blood loss, heart of failure. Could it be the chat log?
Take that!
I don't see... I'm afraid I don't have time for this.
Try again.
Objection!
Blah blah blah. Press.
Objection! Objection!
Evidence. It would be to go. First statement. Oh wait, no. It was the chemist's agreement.
Take that!
Objection!
Is in. Oh god, I'm trying to. Statements.
Objection! Objection! Objection!
What this would be? Okay, I'm looking up a guide just to help. Because I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so. want to press either the vital track Friendsim or the chat log. Okay, so I gotta present either the chat log and evidence the chat log.
Take that!
Yeah, there's no possible way Tagore could have been the one to kill the victim. You say this with all the confidence of a TV lawyer about to make a really big discovery on the case.
I really hope you've got something to back this up.
Of course, you got the chat logs between Tirza and Tagore. That's a clear, really shows the two of them engaged in conversation. A conversation that would have made it hard to split time with doing the murder.
Objection! You have some kind of evidence to actually support this baseless speculation?
The, vital shine presents. Ellis stands there, stunned, his mouth opening and closing, and for once, he's actually speechless.
There. Are you satisfied I didn't fucking kill anyone? I swear to Empress, you're the worst sometimes.
Well, this was a massive waste of time. Can we actually try to figure out why there's a dead body in your airlock?
You're inclined to agree with Tirza on this one. Perhaps you're interested in knowing why there is a dead body there, and perhaps who caused it to be there, especially if that person's still around, kill again.
A little more dramatic than I would have put it, but basically yes.
You're still watching Gallic's face when something clicks behind his eyes. Something you're not liking the look of.
Wait a minute. The logs cleared Gorgor of any involvement in this.
Oh, so it's Gorgor again now.
But you...
He's looking right at Tirza, and his hands are straying inside his coat pocket again.
Of course. It was the perfect opportunity. While Gorgor was distracted, you made your move. I don't know what your endgame was, but you let yourself slip on this one.
Why is he not assuming me? I'm just saying, I just appeared out of nowhere.
What the fuck are you talking about? Are you seriously accusing me now?
Quickly jump between Gallic and Tirza, and you throw yourself out in your hands. Wait, you know how bad that this looks, right? You guess? Honestly, you're not really following Gallic's logic anymore on this, but he doesn't want to find out what exactly happens. Gallic relaxes a little, which is probably a good sign.
I'll give you a chance to make your case, if for no other reason than to properly follow Imperial law.
Yeah, exactly that. You're a huge fan of Imperial law. Probably one of your top, makes a top 10 list. Easy, love that Imperial law.
Stop overselling it. Come see me as soon as you can.
Okay, so this is bad. Tirza's been locked up in quarters, and pretty sure that Gallic is out for blood now, teal-colored blood specifically, which means that you got a little while to figure out how to convince him that Tirza is innocent. You're the first to admit that you weren't expecting things to turn to such a complete nightmare when you went to go get back. First, the thing is with the scratch and your powers, and now your friends are being accused of murder left and right. But there's one thing going for you that no one else can touch. You're powerful, unwarranted, and completely under intensive optimism. Which, you'll admit, is really not a whole lot of help, but you really need to try something to cling to right now. You need to go talk to Tirza to see if she can help you figure this out. You should investigate the ship thoroughly and talk to everyone that's involved. I'm going to quickly save, and I'm going to end this here. So, I hope everyone has a good day, night, week, month of their lives. And may the stars forever guide your path wherever it might lead you into the future. Bye-bye, everybody.